I definitely don't think there's anything wrong with sourcing capital from investors. But it's important to know the type of investors you're looking for and why. And most importantly, taking investment at the right time, under the right terms, and the right valuation for your company. It's also important to understand before you ask any investor for money, how and when you're going to return that money and in what way. Is it going to be equity? Is it going to be a loan, as in a convertible note? So understanding the types of investors. Of course, there's venture capital investors, which is what everybody wants to go after because it's on TV and it's popular. But then we have angel investors, friends and family, crowdfunding. We have banks. We have peer-to-peer lending. There's many ways to source capital for your business. So my favorite way of all to get money for your business is customer revenue. So when I talk about don't get investors, it's more so along the lines of focusing on customer acquisition over what I say cap table stacking. You know, go out and take all that effort. Some friends and I were talking on a group message yesterday about how long it took them to close their rounds. These are all black women that are successful founders and have raised substantial money ranging from $100,000 to, $20 million from investors. So we're talking about how long it took. And at that time, they said realistically expect to spend 6 months to a year to close a round. And think about how many customers you can meet with in 6 months to a year. So I say, unless investor dollars are extremely critical for you to reach revenue first. In my case, specifically with Popcom, we are a hardware and software company. It required hundreds of thousands of dollars in building product before we could be ready to reach revenue. That is why we went ahead to seek venture capital investment. But at the same time, we feel confident we can return those investments under the terms that they agreed to invest under, and with the return they expect. That's a really important thing for you to think about, is what type of business that you have. My company, Flat Out of Heels, we didn't need to seek that. We had a physical product. I went out and got a couple of $100,000 from a friends and family investment and used that money to buy inventory, build the business, and use the inventory and the sales from customers to grow organically month over month. We also leverage services like Cabbage and Lindio and other cash flow like PayPal. We use also Shopify credit. We use PayPal credit. So we use all these things that rely upon your revenue. So anytime we were in a position of cash flow issues, we already had customer sales. So we leverage those customer sales. You can leverage purchase orders. You can leverage contracts for loans. So don't just think investors is the way. It's really hard to get investors. Customers is always the key.